This is part 2 of word problems involving inequalities. So let's take a look at the first one. A professor scores all tests with a maximum of 100 points. So every single test is 100. So these are all basically percentages in this problem. To earn an A student must have an average of at least 92%. So there is our translation. We want an average of at least. And remember, at least is a greater than. So it must be greater than or equal to 92. So let's write out his average. So he has an 89 on his first test, plus an 86, plus a 90, plus the fourth test. So right there, 4 tests are being given. And for average, you add them all up, and you divide it by the number of tests. So our average must be greater than or equal to 92. And that's our equation. So now to solve this, we must multiply both sides by 4. That'll cancel our denominator. Add up the tops. And so we have an 89 plus an 86 plus a 90, so 265. Plus the x, can't add them because they're not like terms, must be greater than or equal to 92 times 4. 368. And then now we just have to solve our inequality. So x is greater than or equal to 103. So he needs 103 on his fourth test to earn an A. So can this student do it? No, because the tests are only out of 100. So this is not possible. Alright, let's try another. So a car salesman representative receives a commission that is the greater of $250 or 8% of the selling of a car. What dollar amounts in the sale price of a car will make the commission offer greater than the $250 flat fee? So we're saying what dollar amounts in the sale price will make the commission offer greater than $250. So we want the commission offer to be greater than $250. So the commission offer is 8% of whatever he sells it for. And there's our equation. So if we divide 250 divided by 0.08, 31.25. So as long as the car sells for more than $3,125, he'll make more than $250 in commission. And if we check it, what's 0.08 times 31.25? There it is, 250. So anything above 31.25 will give him a better commission. Alright, so on this one we're going to Burger King. We order 1 medium onion ring, a 16-ounce chocolate shake. And the onion ring has 16 grams of fat. The shake has 8 grams of fat. So far we have 24 grams of fat in the onion rings and shake. Okay. Each cheeseburger has 21 grams of fat. So there's 21 grams in each cheeseburger. So when they get more complicated, start writing out the different quantities, anything that has a value. So it says how many cheeseburgers can you order and still keep the fat content of the meal to at most. So remember, at most is less than or equal to 87 is what it's asking. So we want our fat content to be at most 87. So we already know less than or equal to 87. We have 24 grams right now, plus we're getting 21 grams per cheeseburger. And there's our inequality. So if we solve it, subtract 24, divide by 21, so x is less than or equal to 3. So we can buy at most 3 cheeseburgers. So 2, 1, or 3. Alright, next one. All right, this is just to show you that there are just straight translations as well. So 2 times the difference, there's a parenthesis now, between a number and 8 is less than. So see the is, that's what changes this from less than to this type of less than. So it's not a subtraction because there's an is. If there was no is, then it would just be a subtraction. Is less than or equal to 5 times the sum. Notice anytime we have sum, difference, product, and quotient, there's 2 different quantities, so we have to parenthesis them. And there's our inequality. Alright, and then we can solve it later. Or you can solve it later. Alright, here's one for you to try. Just give it a shot. Hit pause. If you get it wrong, all the answers are going to come up, and I'll work on it with you together. Alright, so if we translate our first sentence, 1,000 plus 5% on that amount, it gives us what George earns. So we have that. And George needs to earn a minimum. So minimum is a greater than or equal to. Right there, minimum of 3,200. And there is our inequality. So solve it. So George's sales need to be greater than 44,000. So George needs to sell more than or equal to $44,000. So if he sells more than or equal to $44,000, he'll earn his minimum of 3,200. And that's inequalities. So it's just the same as doing normal equations. You're defining your quantities, forming equations, and solving them. But instead of using equal signs, we're using our translations of minimum, at most, at least, greater than, less than, and so on, to form inequalities. So if you see greater than, use what it's supposed to. At most, less than, minimum, at least, and so on. Thank you.